Phoenix Van Live. I just checked Coinstar. Now let's see what's going on. Oh, I don't think we're started here. Let me press a button real quick. Oh boy, look at how many people are showing up. Good Lord. I missed it last week. We went out and raised a little bit of hell. You know, Christmas and all. We got a bunch of folks here. Now, I had redesigned half the stuff on the screen, so bear with me because I think I have it back where it was. But some things are kind of missing. I can't tell how many people are here. Well, that's okay. I see a number over here. For those of you joining this live, we have a chat feature. And for those of you who are not live, during live stream, we have a chat feature over here on the side, which is actually on that side. Okay, let's see. I got a cover photo. It's working pretty good. And we'll go back to, nope, not that. Home, there. I think we got it. I think I'm in business here. I've got Mantic coins, Phoenix Van Life. I don't know who Phoenix Van Life is. I'm putting up half my head. There we go. That's a hair. That's on this side. Good. Mantic coins. Mantic coins was just live. He was showing off some stuff he's going to have tomorrow. He's got a live stream right after the coin class every Saturday. So you want to get in there and see that because he's got some neat stuff. Shoemark coin chats is here. Lemonhead Penny, who seems to like the 1802. Let's see if this works yet. There it is. There's an 1802. We're going to have that available later today. Well, pretty much now. And let's see. There's Lincoln Central. Good to see you. Chris Hurley's joined us. Rob Stewart. JC Will. Mark Phoenix. Outstanding. We had a good crew here so far. There it is. It just showed up. 11 people watching. It's a good start. Right now, not to detract from anybody else's, I was just over at Quinn's Coin Channel. He's having a head-to-head match with CFA. They're going through rolls of pennies. There's 2 teams, and depending on what they find, is how many points they get, and whoever wins gets bragging rights, I guess is how it works out. Kind of a neat thing. It's a great way to, get some interaction with the people in these coin chats and in these groups, other YouTubers. Now, while we're on CFA, he's got a mystery coin contest on. You're going to find in the description down below. Excuse me, ma'am. Right down here, I've got a link where you can find CFA's mystery coin contest. Lincoln Central is having a 100 sub giveaway. Bear with him. There's going to be a moment, but if you get over and subscribe to him, it'll come along that much faster. Got a big, nice Eisenhower. And Coin Hunter has a channel. He just reached 2,000 subs. That's quite a milestone there. And he's having a giveaway, and you'll find that link below. And last time I checked, I was at 499 subscribers. So I'm thinking we're probably going to hit that sometime later today. If you haven't subscribed, it's right down below here. Click to make it say subscribed instead of subscribe. And life will be good. We'll hit a big milestone, but I give away stuff all the time, so I'm not going to have a special giveaway. Chris Hurley says, check PayPal. Thank you, Chris. I'll be sure to check. We're going to have a pretty darn big show this weekend, I can tell you that. You have over 300, says Lincoln. He's catching up to me. Hurry up. Hit the subscribe button. Okay, I'm going to have to check the PayPal a little later, Chris, because if I load stuff up in the middle of a stream, it just kills it. I'm at 500. Woohoo! That's a big milestone. I'm glad. It's working out pretty well. If you don't have a YouTube channel, look into it. I've got a couple of videos that are getting, a couple of thousand views a month. They're not quite viral, but they're active for sure. I made it to 500. Life is good. But you can monetize these videos. You get a little advertisement right down at the bottom of the screen here. And you get a piece of the action on that advertising revenue. So it's a good way to build some residual income. You can sell a penny, make a couple of bucks, or you can make a video and you make money for a long, long time as people keep on watching those videos. So we hit 500. I'm happy about that. Somewhere around 3,500, I can just stop doing anything except for making videos. Let's see, CoinUp has 50,000 subs, and it's working out for him. But You know, get active, do something besides just sell the coins. Take the next step into you know, sharing your information and knowledge, even if all you do is show it off. You know, just show off your collection. Okay, is that all we have for announcements? Yeah, that's right. Let's get into it and see what we got. First thing we have over here, let me move this, and probably that, and this, and these. What's that? Notes. Okay, we have an 1802. There she is. This is a penny. Now, I'll give you an idea of the size. I'm going to move this over here. I get to show you the size between the ½ cent. No, excuse me, that's a 1 cent and a $1/2. They're big. You put a bunch of those in your pocket after a day's work. Geez, they had big muscles back then. Okay, the 1802, I've got a scratch right there. And really, if you've seen these large cents, these drape busts, they took a pounding. I mean, a pounding. The back is quite nice. Now, I give this good 6, but it has that scratch. Also has a little bit of a spot on the bottom. Now, normally at good 6, these babies go for about 120 bucks. But I got a good price on it. And that scratch really isn't so bad. If you look in the big scope, you can make it out, but you really have to strain your eyes because it's a bit of a hairline. But under magnification, she'll jump right up at you. There you go. You can see that shine just above her ribbon. That's what you're looking at. This guy is available for $65. You'll find that to be a pretty darn good price for an 1802 normal reverse in good plus. Now, if you want to order anything, it just said it right there. Don't just send money to PayPal because it doesn't work that way. We have to account for shipping. If you order several things, especially when you get into supplies like the loops or flips or what have you, we start bulking that thing up and we need to account for that shipping. So send me an email. The address is right here beside my head. Let's see if I can I move that? I wonder if I can move that. No, I can't move that. That part is fixed. I can. Here it is. Email kpv@live.com and spell it right. Otherwise, this girl named Kimberly is going to wonder, why are they bothering me? That poor girl. Let's see what we got going on over here. Sometimes a man got to do what he got to do at Oldies. Oldies is here. Good to see you. Oh, I'm not teaching. I'm a salesman today. Yeah, I'll slap you all with a ruler, though. Okay, where'd we go? Let's get back to the penny. So the 1802, good plus, $65. And that scratch is about the worst of it. But if you've seen these 1802s, it's in pretty darn good shape. Lots of wear, but I got full shape on the planchet. Back in the day, these folks would scrape a piece of metal off of a coin so they can put enough together to melt it down and make a cup or a spoon. And that's no fooling. A lot of times you find these things, they're just, you know, they're all screwed up. The pine tree scents, the old Massachusetts colonials are really good because you'd see them and it's just the tree. And really, there's a whole ring that goes around that as well. Shumar says, can call the Whambulance. He's just found a 2000 Wham in a box. Outstanding. Those Whams are easily good for $5. I see this. People go through the penny rolls, right? And they pull out the wheat pennies and they throw the rest back to the bank. Well, if you go through a box of pennies, you find, you know, a dozen of these wheat pennies worth 4 cents a piece. But you're throwing away the money. All the money's going back to the bank if you're not going through these varieties. Because just the wide AMs on 98, 99, 2000, you know, you're looking at $5, $10 easy. Get that. Even if you just pick out a few dates. There's a lot being missed. Okay, let's keep on going here. Over here for the comparison, I've got a 1926, and it's the tercentennial. Is that right? No, it's the sesquicentennial. This commemorative $50 they put out for 150 years of being us, and it's in great shape. You can see all the letters on the Liberty Bell. The same design was used in the back of the Franklin $50. And it really wasn't the same design. It's just the same bell. And so it kind of looks the same. But it's a great way to see Is it full bell lines? Is it sharp? Is it crisp? Is it clean? Is there any wear on this? I'm going to flip this guy over. I'm going to have a look at the front. And here we have George Washington and his buddy, Calvin Coolidge. Now, Calvin Coolidge was president in 1925. That's why he's on. You get the first one and the most recent one. Now, Calvin, what makes this coin very special is that this is the first time when a living president was shown on a coin. And for a good-looking commemorative, this will get you home. I'm not even seeing this here. Let's go to the home screen. There we go. And you can, of course, see the size between the 1802 and the commemorative half. The old copper girl doesn't quite shine as well. Let me take her off and set her down for just a moment. And we'll have another look at this guy. Okay, it is blast white. It is circulated. It's AU. You'll find just a bit of wear on Washington's cheek. And the rest of the coin, you'll see it's magnificent. You can get rid of the details in that bell. There we go. But you have just a trace of wear on Washington's cheek. He should have a little bit more cheekbone here. Not quite cheeky enough. John Salisbury says, Ken, I got my coins today from Sunday's Big Show. Thanks so much. Can't stay. Have a great stream. John, thanks for stopping in. Glad you like them. And John won last week's Big Show. He won everything. And he got a bunch of good stuff in there, I can tell you. Mark says, I found some spare change in my car for you. Well, as long as they don't have like saltwater taffy and chewing gum stuck to them, you know, we'll teach you how to go through them and see what's good. So we got the sesquicentennial in AU, and it is, it's a, well, I don't want to say it, but you know what it is. It's a piece of fruit, full luster, and that's cartwheel. You can see the shine on this guy. And I think that one's new. That's probably from the little, yeah, that little speck. I cut these, and I made a bigger one so I could fit the two coins on there, but you get the little shreds right along the edges. That's what that black spot was. Now in AU, this guy goes for $70. Now they made initially a little over 1 million of them, 1,528,000, and it's kind of neat because there's 528 members of Congress. We'll just take one of those for free. Okay, they melted down 859,000 of the darn things because they just didn't sell at $1 a piece. I mean, who would pay $1 for this? It's only good for 50 cents. That left a production run of 141,000, and according to PCGS, there are 65,000 survivors. And these commemoratives, there's a lot of history in these. I'll just put this over here so you can stare at it for a little bit. And see if I can make that work. There we go. This is it right here. You can see the shine on the big copper round and the shine on the what was it? The half. Maybe it's just too darn bright for this camera. No matter. Big Show this week on New Year's Eve. I thought that was on the 1st. I'll have to check that. But Sunday we're going to have a big show. And we got some stuff, baby. You want to be here for that. And if you want to get involved in the big show, there's a link in the descriptions where you can get your donations in early. And the bigger we get, the bigger the prize. Look at that die crack, says Rob Stewart. No matter. Let's go on. I've got something else here. Let's get into the groove. Okay, we have next. What do we have next? There's my thumb. I so need a manicure. Look at that. Okay. We have a barber. 1915. There's a D on the back of it. Sorry, it's not the big 1915. But this guy, if I can find my notes all right. There we go. This is coming in fine condition. Mintage was 3.7 million in 1915 Denver, with 10,000 survivors, this being one of them. And this is a quarter. Let's have a look at the back. Fine condition. Where's my stick? There we go. Fine condition. I'm seeing the feathers about halfway out. I've got most of the lines visible in the shield, full letters in the EPU. I've got a good solid rim all the way around. There's your D down here. And it's a quarter. That's what they used to spend back then. Now, back in the day, they didn't have a whole lot of folding money. That's what they called the paper bills. But that'd make it show, in the next 20 years, it really become part of the mainstream currency. But in fine condition, I've got most of Liberty visible, plenty of leaves, all the stars, complete rim. And that one comes in at $17. Fully affordable. On these barbers, I like to see fine and better, just because you get that extra bit of detail. So many times either just worn down to a profile. No matter. But they do get better. Here's another one. And you'll see better feathers, better detail in Liberty. Right, you've got the cross points and the stars. Full rim. Here in the back, you've got more detail in the shield, and the feathers start to go out further to the ends. And that stick is gone and went into the computer. Ken has some of the best coins out there. Oh, I've seen some nice coins, baby. Man, they're out there. But this is, some good ones that I've got here today. Okay, we're starting to get some detail of the feathers further out. You saw in that fine example. I can put that right here beside it, actually. In the fine example, it goes about halfway out and kind of just peters out. All right, you've got a lot of detail missing on the shield, but it's still there. Here we got lines all the way across, all the way down, feathers starting to reach out to the USA. And this one is very fine. Of course, all the feathers in the tail. And for what was this? No, $18.99. There we go. And you get the little stars with details in here. In the fine, that's the back. In the fine example, they tend to be just smooth. Still good looking, but here you've got all that extra bit. Now in $18.99 in very fine, and I give this a very fine 20. It makes it, but it's not higher. But the reverse is actually closer to BF25. Now 5.5 million minted on these halves. 6,000 survivors according to PCGS. The price is $115 according to Numis. I got a really good buy on this, and if you want it for $100, get a hold of me at this email and said I want that for $100, and I will set you right up. Ken, this is Ray Hepburn channel name. Oh, Coin Finder is. I just saw something on Coin Finder. Coin found something. Okay, Coin Finder. If you have a channel, let me know, because I've got a directory, and you'll find that in the description also. And I like to keep it updated for what your link is, what your name is, and if you're doing any live streaming and have regular times, I like to keep up with that as well. Okay, next up on the list. Well, it's not really on the list, it's just sitting right here in front of me. We're going to keep going with these half dollars. This Ben Franklin is brilliant uncirculated. The only issue is a bag mark right there in the face. Okay, it is 1953. There's a D mint mark on the back. The shine on this is brilliant. It really is. This is top looking fella here. And you can see the luster on that is full cartwheel. I'm going to build something with an edge so I can tilt this a little better. You can see the blast whiteness on that. We'll go back and flip it over here. There we go. In the back, of course, it's not here. There we go. You can compare the. Oh, where's that other one I had? We can compare. We got dueling Liberty Bells. Check this out. There it is on the BU, and that's a Denver on the Ben Franklin. And we zip next door to the Sesquicentennial. Well, there's no D for the mint mark. I think I like the EPU above the bell instead of beside the bell. And I never understood that eagle. Let's just fill this space and jam an eagle in there. Okay, man, whatever you like. But here, the dates work better. But you can see the details in the lettering in the bells and in the bell lines. And part of this is the engraving done a little bit deeper on this side. But for Ben Franklin, hey, it's a beautiful thing. And this is, I would give this an MS61 to 62. There are some marks on it, like on the face, on the back, on the front. And you got a few minor contact marks here and there. It is not full bell lines. This piece right here, that goes through all the bell lines, so it won't be full bell lines. But otherwise, it's awfully close to full bell lines. And it's a peach at $20. Now, if you don't have a shining band, you want to pick one up. Let's put these side by side so we can compare. There we go, Ben on the left, and you got George and Calvin on the right. If I can get I wonder if I can actually get this camera to ever focus. Let's move this. And I can put my Tootsie Roll bank in there. Instead of changing my car like some people, I actually use a piggy bank. And there we go. We can see the difference in the, you know, on the right is circulated, but just barely. And on the left is uncirculated. And the difference is the contact marks, of course, of wear. What it does, just a little bit of handling will change the luster from brilliant to, well, still pretty white. But if you're going to handle these things, wear a glove. And that's why. Okay, next up we've got, well, I got some slabs. Gonna move these away. And I've got a little room, right? Let's see here. Okay, first off, somebody was asking for, have you got any slab Jeffersons? So, well, give me a minute, I will. Let's see what we got. I got a PCGS MS66. 1949S. There we go. And you can run that serial number across the PCGS certification site, and it'll show you a picture of this coin. I'll look at the back here. But you can't really see much detail on this camera. The little one is going to do. But in the slabs, it's especially difficult. Let's put that under the close-up. And we want to look at steps, right? I've got 2 full steps and most of the rest. The side steps are sharp and clean. You can see the mint mark over there. We'll get in to have a look at these steps. But it's not listed as full steps. But you can see the top 2 all the way across. The next 2 are mostly there. And a little bit of the 5th step. And what changes all that? A lot of it is just the die wear. And the steps on the side are, if I can get the detail to focus, the side steps are no problem at all. But on a 66, you're looking at pretty much pristine fields, almost no contact marks. What there are will be small. And really, you can't make them out. There was one on the stairs, there you go, just between the T and I. But now you're looking at what, a millimeter? Yeah. Once you get into 65, 66, they really tighten up. I have one of those Tootsie Roll banks. Phoenix Van Life, do I know you? Here you go. Now what you have here, more than anything else, is not contact, but this is chatter. Let's see if I can find my pointy. Right in here, these marks, this is what you call chatter. The metal went into the voids in the die, but it didn't quite fill every single space. That's what this is chatter. Now you got here, let's see, there's a vertical contact mark. But some of these are also chatter. You get a lot of this on the shoulders of Lincoln, for example. But there's your MS66. It's a shiner. But you put together a few of these. You know, you get 63, 4, 5, 6, and you have effectively a reference set for yourself, so you can you know, make it easier to grade your own coins. Now the 48S nickel in MS66 is $27. There we go. And let's have a look at the next one. Where we have, let me set you aside now, an MS66 Lincoln. Now this is a 66 red 1955S. Last year they made S-mints for a little while. They brought them back in 68, 69, 70, oh, through 74, but they made proofs in San Francisco at that point. Now, if you want to see what a 66 red looks like, there's one right here. This is an NGC slab. And of course, I mean, it shines like, what's a shine like? Give me I need an analogy. Who's got one handy? Let's take a look over here. Home, scope. And it looks like that. Now, you got a just massive amount of shine on this guy. This is why I don't like the slabs. The slabs protect the coin, but then you got to protect the slab, or you get all these little fine, somebody probably polished that off, had a booger or something on it. But it makes it tougher to take the photos through there. But you got a strong strike, every bit of detail. I already looked, there's nothing special about the mint mark. Coin Dragon is showing up. Howdy. We're looking at an MS66 1955S. Now, let's see the price on that. Numa says $27.50. The fact is, you can get 66s all day long for $22. That's what this one's going for. And we'll set that over here. The next one is an unremarkable 1960D small date in MS64. Okay, so we got a 64 and a 66, and well, I've got another 65, but I'm putting that up on the big show. That's a 1960D small date, and I'm looking at PCGS to try to get the value estimate on this, and it's really neat because somebody paid like $140 for a 64. This is an MS64 red. I mean, what were they thinking? This is about an $8 coin. The values range between 8 and 12. I can let this one go for 8, easy enough. And there's a reverse. And again, it comes down to the small details. Comparing this to the MS66, MS65, their contact marks are a little bigger, they're a little more numerous. But otherwise, it's a pretty darn clean coin. And I'll set that back over here so you can have a look. There you go, 66 on the right. There's the 60D small date. And of course, that fancy nickel. They really take on a great color when they're that nice. 1948. It's like a battleship gray, whereas these turn into more of a pumpkin color. And they paid to slab it. They paid probably $20 to get that, plus the shipping, plus insurance to get that slab. Well, maybe it's running for 65. What do you got there? Maybe a $30 coin. Well, you might break even, but 64? Dude, before you send stuff off for slabbing, find out what it is, what it's worth, what you can expect. And you get enough PCGS slabs out there that you can do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, next up I've got 4 proof Lincolns. Now I had these last week, and I could do better over here, I think, because I've got them in the containers here. There we go. I like to keep these in plastic so they don't get scuffed and scraped and dirty, so I gotta wipe them and scuff them and scrape them more. These I store in their bags. Now, not 1990, 2009. And that's type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. And I'll just move this off. So these are all the proofs for the 2009 bicentennial. And they are immaculate. There is nothing wrong with these that I can detect. And we'll put them under. Have a look. Of course, this is type 3, where it's the capital. And let me open one of these up. Who's coming here? Good prices on the slabs. They're fair prices. I shop around, find good ones. On a 92D AM. Wide AM or close AM? Angel Lopez. All 92Ds will have an AM. I can't open this. There we go. And this is the type 3. Looks just like that. Proof. Black and white. I can shine that back and forth. Now the real part of about these little holders, the coin is it's inside the foam, so I can flip it over so easily without getting fingers all over it. And they are sharp and immaculate. These are $5 a piece, $20 for the 4. Let me put that back up. I like them. Get them. If you want them, get a hold of me at this email address, and we'll go from there. Now I'll let you stare at those for a bit because I got to pull up another tray. What do I do with the old tray? What do I always do? Stuff them right up here. Okay, the $50 are always popular, so I like to put a few of those around. Now this one kind of fell into my lap. Okay, I'll take it. All right. It is a Stone Mountain 1925. Now, Mantic Coins just had a great video on this, telling the whole darn story about the designer, the actual monument on the side of that mountain, the reason why, who's missing here? Jefferson Davis. You got Stonewall Jackson on the left, and the front is, that fella Lee. Okay, and of course the horse, what was Lee's horse's name? I don't think it was Trigger. Lee's horse had a name. It was in that movie. Had Lee in it. Not the original Lee. Had an actor playing Lee. Now in the back you have an eagle mounted on the precipice. And memorial to the valor of the soldier of the South. Buttercup? No, it wasn't Buttercup. I think it started with T. What the hell was Sherman's horse's name? I don't know. Anyway, this guy has seen some wear. Back in the day, before 1930s, 33, the $50 were a novelty, these commemorative halves. They didn't make a whole lot of the darn things. They sold them for $1. Come 1933, there were a lot more collectors. Coin collecting was really starting to take hold. That's why you got so many 1931 S's that have been saved. No, not Boo Boo. Mel? It might be right. T-Mel. We should make this a trivia question one day. What was his horse's name? I don't know. Secretariat? Traveler. That's right, Traveler. That is his horse's name. He traveled mostly around Virginia and mostly away from the Union forces after 1864. But there he is. Now this guy, if I can find it on my list, saw a lot of wear because they didn't save them back then. They spent them. And is it even here? Okay. VF is what I'm assigning this for a condition. There's a lot of wear on his leg. Once you start getting into these lower grades, you still have a great coin. You could put together a fine set of these commemorative halves. Where's that other one I had went? There we go. So you've got the AU Sesquicentennial right there. There's George and Calvin. And over here you got the bird. And you got the non-presidents, Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee. Now here's a neat one, right? Okay, George married Martha. Now Martha was married to this other fella, John Dandridge or something or other. And they had some kids. Now Martha's first husband passed away, and then George married her. But Martha's got her kids. That's no problem. George's going to raise them up. Now, her kids had grandkids, and there was one fella in there named Custis. George Washington, no, they named him George Washington Custis Lee, or something like that. Or was it Martha Custis? At any rate, it ended up George Washington was raising this child at home. It was his wife's granddaughter, I guess. And this child who Washington raised had a daughter who married Robert E. Lee. Kind of a neat thing. That's why you got things like Washington and Lee University. They were real close knit families. I mean, you're talking Northern Virginia here. Of course, it's a small family. There's like 46 people in the whole state back then. So here we go. We got this guy. It's available for $39. And you got a decent little Stonewall Jackson Stone Mountain Memorial 1925. And you can put together a decent little set of these commemorative halves. And once you start getting into the higher grades, the prices just go through the roof. Okay, what time we got? We got 10:04. We got some time here. How's everybody doing over here? You Googled it? It was Traveler? Outstanding. Hey, there's nothing wrong with using Google. And if you don't know it, you can find out. Oh, where'd that penny go? Here's that giant 1802. All right, and that's a penny. All right, now you get a half a penny over here, a couple years later. Right, and it's smaller. It's about the size of a quarter. This one's kind of old and tired. I just happen to have a quarter here. We can put those side by side and have a look. There's a half a penny. There's a giant penny. Here's a quarter. And they're about the same size. Let's go over here and take a look. Home. So the 1 cent is the upper right. Half a cent is down below, but the same size as a quarter, a little smaller. And over there, that little tiny thing, that's 5 cents. You didn't have nickels back then. You had half dimes. Sesquicentennial halves are often weakly struck, says Mr. Monkey Swag. Here it is, and you can see the reverse on that. I can give that to you again, but I'm showing off this guy first. There we go. 1854. The only issue with this, I mean, you got all the detail consistent with XF, but you can see on the left side about 9 o'clock, you got a more substantial rim ding. That's going to take away some value. Flip that over. These are such tiny little coins. It's the second smallest we ever made. Or third smallest. I guess the gold dollars were in there pretty small. But the only circulated fractional currency that we ever had that's smaller is the 3 cent silver. And there you go. You got every bit of detail in the back here. And for half dimes, this guy is XF. Now, that little bit on the side, if you don't have a little half dime, you want to grab one. I mean, they're itty bitty. Where's a penny? What's this one? 1944. I got no fear of this. There's your little, there's your regular Lincoln. I'll set that right on top. That'll give you an idea of the scope on this guy. But you got all the detail on her head, the hat, her breasts, for lack of a better word. Liberty jumps right out at you. The only issue is you got that mark on the left. Let's look right in there at that. There you go, Liberty. That's going to be Liberty for a whole. You can spend that another 100 times. Your stars have their cross hatches, and there's that piece right there. And it's only the top half of that. The bottom rim is excellent. Let's look at the back, right directly opposite. And there we go. We're over at 9 o'clock, and this side of the rim is excellent. So it's only a partial rim nick. It doesn't go the whole thing. Just the front side. Hey, Peter. Good to see you. We're looking at stuff. Get the focus right. There you go. So you don't have that rim ding on the reverse, just on the obverse. And if I turn it sideways, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There you go. It's only on that top piece. So it's not that bad of a rim ding. There you go. And the full reading on the edge. And look how coarse the reading is. I mean, you get a regular dime nowadays. Have I got one here? Kind of. Yeah, I got one here. Let's compare that to the new dimes. And see how coarse that is. Okay, there's a Roosevelt. And you can see the reading here. It's consistent. It's even. It's also rather fine. And these old half dimes, put that reading up right at the I am so ham-fisted it's not even funny, but these things are kind of small anyway. Okay, and there you see the same. It's gone. You see the reading, and it's a lot wider and thicker than on the regular new dimes, and that's that rim ding. I don't think that's a game changer. So we'll go back and have a look, zoom out, and I'm going to find this on my page here and see how much that thing is. There you go. 1854. There you go, half dime, extremely fine with a rim nick. $45 for this coin. Now without the rim nick, and you've seen how small that is. Without the rim nick, that'd be over $60 for this coin. You can take it right now. If you can't live without it, get a hold of me at email. It's right up there. Okay, and there's your sizes. I love this shot. This is a great shot. How big is this stuff? Now, if you like, a lot of people collect just one thing, say buffalo nickels or wheat cents or mercury dimes, or they're hunting down the silver dollars. I like to get a little bit of everything because you get a bigger story, a greater picture of the history of the coinage in the United States, going with a type collection. Over here, you got a $quarter of the barber. Here you have the seated Liberty half dime, the two Drake busts on the half cent and cent. I mean, just get one of everything, because at least you can look at the darn things and enjoy them. And they can be a tremendous investment. I was looking at these barber halves, you know, years back in the day. I mean, something like this 1915 or the 1899, something like that would be, you know, 25, 30 bucks. Now they want 120 something for that guy. Of course, this one is handy. Let's see. Next up was the half cent. Scope and screen. But when you get into the types, you can get earlier dates. Like this guy is an 1804. And now it's rather pitted. It's tired. It's worn out. There's no question about it. We'll have a look in the big screen in a second. Let me make some room in my card. There we go. Let's grab a different card. And on the back here, 1804 has a couple of different varieties. You have the crosslet 4, the plain 4. You have them with and without stems. And by stems, we're looking at the stems coming off the in between the ribbon below and the leaves up top. You have 1/000. This is a 2. And you've got to shape this right, but it is a 2. There you go. I think that might be showing it, but it's flat on the bottom. And you've got, oh, I can zoom in. Let's try this out. And that is a 2. Because if it was a 0, it would be shaped differently. And the space here, it's hard to make out, but that's the space between the tail of the 2 and the upper curve. But that is a 200. And you got to study it for a while. But the big thing is these stems, right? On the 1804 with stems, those get quite rare. Let's see, where's the figures here? 1804. It's gone. There they are. They made 1 million of these darn things, right? 1 million. Today, the 1804 with stems, and that's with the crosslet 4, and this is a crosslet 4, and you can tell 2 ways. One is that the top of the 4 has a point. On the plain 4, it's flat, and also you have this big crosslet over here on the side, but it's difficult to see in this image. You're talking a surviving population of about 300 pieces. This baby gets to be rare. Let's look at this under the scope, under the wide view. I move that. There we go. Now you got plenty of detail here, but it's got a lot of pitting. Looking at the back, again, lots of detail, but plenty of pitting on this guy. If it weren't for the pitting, this would probably be a very good coin. I have this, I'm calling it About Good, and it is $50. And there we go. But these are really neat because you put them beside a quarter, right? And you get an idea of the size of them. So if you had 20 cents in your pocket, what would it look like? It would look like that. If you had 20 half cents in your pocket, this is what it's gonna feel like. I have these all counted ahead, but now I'll mess it up, so I'm gonna have to do it again. That would be 20 cents in your pocket in half cents. Now, how would you like to have a roll of half cents? We'll just scratch it out where it says quarter right in Write it in as half cent. Okay, so there's that guy, and that is $50 for that half cent. Now, if you really want to get into those half cents, we've got another one over here. This comes in at fine plus. Now, those drape busts were only around for so long, and they went to the cap bust variety. Different design. Let's put that under the scope so we can see what we're looking at. Oh, Beth has made it. Hey, Beth, good to see you. Here we go. Now, 1809 was a great year. 1808 was the last year for the drape bust. And then we went over to this girl. And this guy comes in at fine condition, but what's important is that 9. And I've showed you this before. But I had the drapes, so I want to just keep on going with this. Focus. Come on, come on. Okay, that's probably about as you can get, good as you can get here. A little more. All right. You're looking at the space between the 9 and the loop of the 9, right in there, and you get a little connector. And the big giveaway is over here on the outside of the 9. This is the inverted 9/9. Some people call it the 9/6 or the 6/9, but it's an inverted 9. Back in the day, 1808 in particular, up until the 1830s and 40s, they would punch the date in. So you didn't have double dies on the dates, you had repunched dates. Kind of like the way they did the mint marks up until the late 80s. And this is what the result is. You find these funny little things where the dates have been repunched. And sometimes they do them upside down and backwards. Oh, and another big giveaway is the inside circle. It should be round, and of course it's straight because you got another letter under there. Okay, and this guy comes in at fine condition and then some. This gal. Here you go, half cent. And by this time they had taken away the fractions and just wrote it half cent. Let's have a look here. Now in 1809, they produced 1.1 million of these things, a little more. And I'm sure Congress got a free one too. The surviving population of these, with the 9/9, or 9/9, is about 1,200 pieces. Again, these are tough to get a hold of. This guy comes in at $95. God, you got to get one of these. They're not too common. No, these aren't your mama's Beano coins. And there's your front. And you look at the details in the hair, the full rim. And they wear down more, and it's just an outline. All you see is just a head, just the outline. You want to find these extra bits of detail. Like on this good 6, it's mostly an outline, but you have an ear, you have some hair up here, you know, back where the ribbon is. You got some more detail there. But you wear these down more, and all you have is just looks like a Utah quarter. What's going on in the chat? Catherine has shown up. Good to see you, dear. Yep. So you have a little more detail once you get into fine. You start to get some shape in the leaves. Okay, set that aside here, along with that 1802. These drape bust coinage, they can be addicting. You know, I can really get into those. There's Schumacher, good to see you back. Okay, let's step up to nickels, because we only had those half times for a while. For a while, they made both half times and nickels. In the 1860s, of course, there was a coin shortage at the time. So here I've got a Buffalo nickel, and this is a 1926 Denver mint, and it's in very fine condition. You can have a look at the Buffalo and go to PCGS Photograph, compare for yourself. There's the D, and I looked real hard at the D. It just didn't look right to me, but eventually I said, okay, is this a normal D? There it is. 1926 D. Now in very fine condition, this coin is $90. You find that 26D could be a bit of a tougher date. Let's get that camera back in so we can see if this guy's worth it. And we'll have a look all around here. But if you want a better date, better grade, 26D is hard to beat. What's the name of that Indian? He's got a name too. Oh, train going by. Okay. And I did not get the vintage figures on this, so I'll have to get back to you. Nickel, there are 3 feathers on this. You're looking at that. You got 3 feathers and all the legs. How much is the 1809? The 1809 over 9, which is an inverted 9, half cent, in fine condition is $95. And if that's something you want, get a hold of me at the email. I'll set that aside. Thought I had another buffalo. Where'd that go? Well, it's run off. Put on this? No, I'm out of trays. Okay, no matter. I got some 3 centers here that are kind of interesting. I'll put them both on the slip here. All right, where's that one? There's one, and here's the other one. Now we'll start with the 1867, and this is in fine condition. All right, it's not too screwed up. All right, not a thing wrong with it. Let's have a look at the back real quick. There you go. You got the lines mostly throughout. Now the 18th, well, these 3-cent nickels. You find a lot of clash marks on this. And there's one right in here. I believe that is. And I have to take a look and see what this mark is. But what sets this one apart is right here. I've got a folded over lamination. Now you have something really interesting. That has been peeled. And you got more lamination under the hair here. And you can find these fine striations, which is kind of normal to when you start seeing laminations. There you go. I might just want to go across. But here this thing has been peeled back and stamped and has held its place all these years. Now, where'd the price on that go? There you go. 1867, 3-cent copper nickel, fine condition with lamination of $30. And I'll get you a far out shot on this. One of them neat things. You don't get those every day. Now, the next one is an 1874. This is also fine condition. I didn't get the numbers on that 67. Okay, on the 74, they made 790,000 of the darn things. That's this one. And you have fine condition. You compare that to the first one, and you find them pretty much the same. In a fine condition, this goes for $24. There are 3,000 surviving specimens. So once again, you can expand your repertoire. Get some coins you don't have. You can really show this stuff off to people. Above the 3 here, you have another clash mark. That's the bottom of her neck. I bet you can find some clashes on the front. Let's flip her over and see. Because you get them all over the place on these. Let's find some leaves. Sometimes you find them hiding right in here. You have a piece of the column. I'm okay right now. But if you wiggle back and forth, you can find parts of the leaves have been slammed over the front. I'm not seeing much here. No matter. I sent email for the 3-set. The lamination of the 74. Mantic. These are real nice. That's the 74. I'm going to guess that you were looking at the one with the fold over lamination. And that fold is still there. That fold is still in place right over here. It was lifted, folded over, and then minted because the A is great shape. A lot of people think it was Crazy Horse. It was actually a portrait of his lesser known brother, Well-Adjusted Donkey. I need to get into chat more. Okay, there's those. Now one of them looks like it's spoken for. We'll go on. I don't know where that other buffalo went. No matter. Let me make some space over here because I got a batch to show off. Okay. Oh, there's on quarters. And I'll put them back in my jar. I haven't looked at these yet, so they go in this jar. So this jar over here is the one that goes back to the back. Okay. You can't see a thing. Alrighty. Let's take a moment for this to zoom in. I've got a roll of these things. And, well, I was going to send them back, but I kind of held on to them for way too long. These are 1993 proof Roosevelts. And let's have a look. There's nothing wrong with the condition. The grade is outstanding. My issue is that they're frosty. There's nothing wrong with them as far as condition. But I like them to be black and white. And these are, well, they're a bit toned and frosty. And you see that on these. Kind of hazy. We'll go back to the big screen. And if you can see the frost on that. I mean, they're quite good, but they're not quite good enough for me. I want black and white. And if you can see all of these, I mean, every one of them is, well, just kind of frosty. Now, these are 2 for $1. Take as many as you like. If you want the entire roll, you can have her $20. Probably that one on the lower right, you can see the frost of what I'm talking about. So there's a bunch. Take them 2 at a time or take them all. 2 for $1, the whole roll. And if somebody wants the whole roll, they get priority. And $20 for the whole roll. So let me set that back up here. And last item I have here is some Canadian coins. And here we go. Let's see what we got here. These are Canadian pennies, and you can see the size on these. Where'd those quarters go? I done lost it. These Canadian large cents, well, you get a $50 right beside it. These Canadian large cents are about the size of the American large cents. I'll put one right beside it, but a little smaller. They're closer to a quarter, and our large cents are closer to a $50. But I'll take the roll. Schumer has the roll. Okay. Roll the 1993S. There you go. $20 for your own shipping. Okay, let's have a look at the details on these, because it's the details that really matter most. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 here. Now, you got the dates, and that's all well and good, but you've got die varieties and design varieties, just like on American coinage. Now here, look at that gorgeous woman. Okay, this is 1891, very fine. And you've got to get into those jewels, because this rim is so much higher than the relief on these coins. And when you got about half the design gone on these jewels, this is VF. The next one you'll see is fine. I'll put that right beside it, upside down, so it's confusing. Okay, that's V. Which one are we? That's the edge. This one is fine. You see very little detail in the big jewels. And this one is very fine. We have much of it, not all of it. All right, now this one, the left one, is a small date, small leaves with obverse number 3. And all that means is you've got that double chin that makes her such a looker. Same thing over here, obverse number 3, the double chin. Here's where we get interesting over here. Okay. Note the difference in the size of these leaves. These are small leaves, these are large leaves. And that small leaf is a nice thing. Yeah, this is very fine. More desirable is a small date large leaves, and very fine. Yeah, this is a more valuable coin, but it's in a lower grade. Let's compare these dates. These are both small date. And I can't do this because they're just too darn big. Let's try stacking them. 1891 and 1891, both are small date. And you see the difference in the leaves. Small leaves, large leaves. Okay, the 1891 small date large leaves. Burst number 3 in fine condition is $100. No fooling. The 1891 very fine with small date and small leaves, this one right here, burst number 3 in very fine is $95. Yeah, they get good money for these babies. I'll set these back up so you can see this gorgeous Betty. Back in the day, she was hot. But back in the day, you know, nobody could breathe either. I'll set these over here on the side because I got another one for you. And it is an 1881. Oh, this one's neat. Okay, there were two designs, 1 and 1A in 1881. This is H. Okay, so you got the mint mark. And I can never remember who made this. I think the company's name was Healy. There's your H. There was a private mint in London that did a lot of work for the realm because they had so many places that to make coins for. Yeah, she was a butter face and kind of a butter body too. Yeah. I mean, no amount of cold weather is going to make those things look good. She was a big girl. Okay, this is a private mint. They made it for Great Britain, parts of Ireland. Did they do Wales yet? I don't know. Bermuda, Bahamas, all those little island nations that we probably later conquered. They had a lot of island nations in the Pacific, India, Singapore. Well, they needed a private mint to make all these coins, and H came in. Now you've got the 1 and 1A, and this guy is an XF. If you look at these jewels, XF. Okay, I'm gonna have to recheck this because I don't agree with that writing. Huh. But what a hideous girl. I may have switched a coin because this ain't it. But what you're looking for is 1A over 1. And for this, you're going to get right in. And this is what you see. Almost like a double die. It's one design hubbed into another design. And you find this all the way around. Now, if you're interested in this, let me know, and I'll get you a more accurate price because this is not XF. Get into that A, that really shows it off well. There you go. So it's not really doubling, it's one design over another. It's a neat thing. Now in XF, this is a $15 coin. So this is probably going to be affordable. And I'll get with you on that. But you can see in the bottoms, in particular, with my pointy. There you go. You can see down here the double serifs. It's a difference in the size between the two designs is what you're looking at. So you have a small and a large design here. And that's the difference between the 1 and 1A for 1881H. But looking at those jewels, no, I don't agree with this being XF. Yep. There's that double chin. Now, see the difference here? How it's not fully doubled. You don't have that cleft. Okay, and 10 years later, of course, your old girl, she didn't go hungry. Here you have that little cleft in her chin. So now you really got that turkey waddle going. This is what I'm talking about for the outburst number 3. Is that little cleft. Whereas this one is just fat all the way around. Smooth. One of those neat things. Can't wait to, oh, Bill. I had a sniffle today and it was cold out. And that says Beth Coddington made on it right there. So it's ready. I just didn't get out of the house today. I'm sorry. Every now and then I just lose all motivation. Another 2 packages on the side of the hutch over there. So there it is. And I'm going to have to recheck the grade because that's not XF. Okay, no matter. I've got one last Canadian large cent here. Now this should be XF unless I switched them off. There you go. Look at those. Look at those. 1887. And you can see the difference here between that previous one, the 1881. That's not XF. Those jewels are not XF. That hair, that's not XF. That is. See that difference in detail? You got the inner triangles of the lower of those. Here you don't. Not XF, definitely XF. And this is 1887. Oh yeah, on these Canadian coins, right? I'll show that off over here. Home. Yeah, their axis of rotation is sideways rather than vertical. So it's kind of a metal axis alignment. Okay, I have to turn it left to right. And I always screw this up on live camera so that I can get that. Because if I go heads over tail, they're upside down. So back over here, and we'll see that again. Nope, scope, scope, there we go. So left to right, I get it right side up. 1887, and you can see the detail on this guy. You get all the veins in the leaves. And I don't have the mintage figures for this, but if you give me one moment, I can look it up. Okay, ready? 1887, you're looking at it here is 1.5 million. That's it. On the 1891s, where are you there? 1.453 million. On the 1881, the 1A over 1. Oh, let's see. Where the heck did that go? Why is that not on my list? Well, it's not on my list for some reason. But 4 million for, no, 2 million for 1881H. And that includes the 1A over 1. So 2 million. That's the most popular one. And what do we have here? I'm lost. I don't know what we have here. 1887 and 1.5 million. Yeah, not too many of the darn things. You look at Indian cents with, 1.5 million mintage. They get to be pretty pricey. This 1887 is $19. Oh, is it chocolate looking? Yes, it is chocolate looking. These Canadians, they get quite dark. It could be the way they were stored over the past 100 years sometime. And let me just set these aside here. This is probably why that XF is in the wrong place, because I take them out to show them on the screen, they just get bumbled up. And you'll have, Lincoln cents. What do we got here? Here's a 1944 for comparison. Alrighty, but here's an 1802 large cent. The color's pretty darn close. All right, this is the 1887 here. Yeah, they tone up just like regular copper coins. I like that color when it looks lacquered. Yeah, they're good looking pieces. Let's see, this is the, I don't know what that is. I can't see that far. But they have a great color, great tone. Let's try setting it on something. She's better on a 100-year-old coin than in real life, is what I hear. And let's compare that color to the 44. 40, 50 years difference here. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different. Lay them right in. Now, that's what I have for today. Don't forget, of course, we have the, plenty of loops available. Now, if you get one that says 30X, it's not really 30X, it's 10X. But these guys are $3 a piece. You get 2 of them, or a scale plus a loop. It's $2.50 for the loop. And of course, the flips, you'll see these right below me. These are unplasticized vinyl flips, double pocket. And I do them with slip of paper on one side and a coin on the other. There you go. So that's an 1938 S, very choice BU, Lincoln cent, very choice, so that'd be MS64. But it's a great way to have the coins. You can see both sides easily, fold them up. They fit in pages, they fit in boxes. I leave them open for my needs. Oh, so I can, because I go through, you know, I need access to a lot of information fast, and I keep them stored whole, open, so I can just look at one side and just tab right through them. And that's really working for me. You can't do that with the old 2x2 flips. But those are $8 per 100. I can give you 50 for $4 or 25 for $2. It's no problem to count. How common are woody grains on the Canadian side? Not particularly. I've seen some. I've sold a few, and usually it's a bit coarse and lower contrast than what you have on the American woodies, because the Canadians don't have tin in there. It seems to be that tin that makes all the difference. More, you need some flips, a scale, and a loop. I've got 2 scales here, and I've got coin class coming, and I've got more loops or more scales on the way. So I can get you a loop, but I might run out, in which case I'll just do something else or coin class. Scale, got loops. My kid took your stuff. Well, that's a killing right there. Hey, at least you got another somebody in your family that's collecting coins. Why not? I sent $5 to PayPal. Could you apply it to the big show? I sure could, Chris. I got you on my list here on my cheat sheet. Okay, yup, says Maury. Yeah, I can get you more stuff. It's no problem at all. Jeez, one day you'll be trading coins with him. Hey, you could do a competition on, you know, on a YouTube video. You know, roll hunting with the kids. Yeah, people like the family-friendly channels. I tend to be a little more salty, especially on my late-night shows. But there we have it, and you can go through everything we talked about here: the barter halves and quarters, the commemorative halves, the Canadian cents. Oh, I guess those proof dimes are gone. These guys are still available. The half cent, 1802. What was that one? Half dime. Oh, the 3 centers. I guess Shay wanted the one with the lamination. Did I have another tray here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's everything. That's what I've got lined up for this week, guys. And we'll have more next week. $400 in good. Good evening. There's Mr. Brian Berry. I have nothing here from you, and I haven't received that greaser yet. I was hoping to have that for coin class tomorrow. But the mail gets here about 3:30, and coin class starts at 3. So unless I stop what I'm doing, go and get it. I'm as family-friendly as a rabid wolverine. You put out a family-friendly coin channel, and people will watch, because you get a lot of it. The old guy or the old gal collects or does coin roll hunting, and they like to get the kids involved. Me, I don't like kids, and I've been very fortunate in my life not to have any. All they do is make things sticky. My nephews come on over, you know, when they were little, they take all the clothespins off and put them over here in a pile. And hit the compost and gather up all the worms and put them in a bucket. They wouldn't say anything. So in about 3-4 days, you know, in this hot sun, oh God, what is that? Smells worse than my house. But you know, I got plenty of worms. But I need my clothespins. Also, still no invoice for the Whitman Cent book and flips. Okay, Chris, I'm gonna have to. Apparently, I missed a couple things. So Chris Hurley. Oh, let's see. There were cents in there, or just a book and flips? We'll get together and we'll square up and find out. Book and flips. Every now I get a lot going on, and every now and then I miss something altogether. So we'll go from there. Rob Stewart found a 1980 Woody. Okay, now 1980. You had a lot of these. A lot of these coins have black stripes, not the bright colored woody stripes, but these black stripes across them. And they're very uniform, very even, straight, I mean like an arrow. And according to Ken Potter, those are the results of a dipping solution. They're not quite the woody in the traditional sense, but hold on to it. And the jury's still out as to what that is. Just a book. That was the... That I know what it is. It's this one over here, but the cover on it, the bookshelf album. I got you covered. Yeah, I'll set you right up. Black line. Hold on to it because everybody's still talking about what is this? Is it roller marks? Is it some kind of a squeegee they use to, they rinse off the big sheet and then squeegee it off? What? We'll figure it out. I sincerely do apologize, Ken, for being late. It's all right. You can always watch the show later. A lot of this stuff is going to be going. It usually happens. Sometimes a lot of the stuff flies and I got nothing left, and sometimes a couple, 3 days later, there's plenty of stuff left. Yeah. I will send you a picture of the Woody. There's my email address. We'll go from there. Okay, guys. It's getting 10:46. We've used up our hour. I got to get over to CFA and find out who won that contest they were having. And let's see. Be sure. Oh, that was Quinn's Coins was having the CFA competition with Quinn and CFA. And we'll go from there. How many subs are we up to? Did I get past 500? I got to check my statistics and see how everything's doing. I'm so glad. Guys, I want to thank you for making everything possible that I've been doing these past few months. 501. We broke 500. 1,000 is the next one. That's the next big milestone. And I guess at 10,000, they send you a plastic plaque. One guy I saw, he's got a video channel. He does fishing, right? He goes fishing and he does videos. And he got that plaque from YouTube. It's got that shiny piece of aluminum or whatever it is. Well, he takes the thing apart, rips apart this little trophy, drills a hole in it, hooks it onto a fishing line, and uses it as a lure. So the fish get in to shine in the flap. Kind of a neat thing. But I guess he got a fish out of the deal. So why not? Lincoln Central has 330 subs. Yeah, once you get past 100, you start getting into the big numbers. But I found around 300, 330, my numbers really started to grow. The channel started to get, more active. I sent you 5, Ken, says Jeff. Please apply to the next big show. I got you covered. Looks like we're going to have a great big show. Yeah, we'll have to rename it to the huge show. Yep, I got a rock. I got a towel for Christmas. I'm pretty happy with that. I needed a new towel. Okay, that's going to do it for now, guys. Keep an eye on things. The big show on Sunday, 3 o'clock. We're going to have a pretty good start for that. We've got the coin class tomorrow. And, well, I might be doing the backup plan for that because having trouble with the mail. We still got so much stuff going from Christmas time. So the mail's still a little slow. But if we don't have that item for tomorrow, we'll have it for next week. And we'll do some sleuthing is what we'll do. And how much information is out there and what can you do with it? That's what we want to sleuth. Can you determine a date on a coin and you don't have a date visible? That's what we want to see. So guys, thanks a lot. Take it easy. Good luck and stay safe. On New Year's Eve, don't drink and drive. Or if you do, do it really fast so you're on the road for a shorter time. One way works. So is the other one. We'll see you later now.